All right. Well, that's 3:15. Well, 3:15 my time here in Bowling Green. 4:15 everywhere else. So I guess we will go ahead and get started. And I will, as Jeff does every time, set my timer for 20 minutes because we will not go over that in our quick shot. My name is Matt Kresslein. I'm joined by Mr. Jeff Zabulski and Dr. Sean Jackson. We are going to present and share and bring all the questions and details to light for you regarding our STLP State challenges. So first of all, STLP State challenges happen all at our STLP State Championship event in Lexington. These are all on site, sometimes pre STLP State and sometimes during STLP State challenges that require students to participate in an event. Sometimes they have to prepare things ahead of time. Sometimes they spend part of the day at STLP State working on this challenge or event that requires them to do something on site. What we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about that and then go through each of the challenges, specifically some of the new ones that we have in store for you this year. So at state, there are different things that you have the option of participating in. Most popular, I guess, what a lot of people participate with at state is our level 2. And if they're fortunate enough to advance on to level 3, our project showcase. This is where they have already presented or prepared their project in level 1 and have advanced to the state level and will then present their project live at state to judges. Challenges is what we're going to talk about today. And then we also have the STLPX or STLP experience opportunities for students. These are hands-on activities that are set up to let those that either have already competed during the day or are not competing have the chance to play with some sort of activity and hopefully learn. And all of these are tied into the Kentucky Academic Standards for Technology. So they'll earn a nice little ribbon that they can display on their name badge and hopefully learn something in the process. And then we have our Kentucky Go Play Makerspace set up with hands-on activities led by Heidi and James Allen that'll be there as well. So there's lots of things to do at state, but what we're going to look at are the challenges that you have to sign up for and hopefully get something here. So live challenges. So these are, we have, I believe, 21 challenges set up right now. And these are all required to sign up for ahead of time. And we have a slide at the end that says February 28th is the end of registration. So you have to sign up for these before February 28th. We have 21 challenges that'll be available this year at the state championship. Lots of programming and coding activities, some website stuff, Cinemania, which is a big one. Lots of robot. I think we've grown in the added three robot categories this year. So those are all available and ready for your students. So we are going to look at all of them, focusing on the new ones. You can find more information on the STLP Super Sheet, which is on the STLP website, or there are little descriptions, and registration can be found on the STLP State website that's listed here, stlp.education.ky.gov/state. There's a little brief description and then contact information, where to find the rubric, and registration links can all be found on the state website. So first one, and I'm going to turn it over here to Dr. Sean Jackson to explain exactly what the new Girls Who Code challenge is for this year.
Yeah, and we have a long history of working with the Girls Who Code program with STLP. We struggled through the pandemic, but we're bringing it back in full force. And what we're doing is actually taking the challenge from the National Girls Who Code Challenge. And their theme this year is AI for financial good. And you can check out the super sheet and the rubric. It's got the links to the resources, but I'll go ahead and run through the very first step. First step, register your STLP club as a Girls Who Code club, because it opens you up to a lot of resources that you can help facilitate some interest in STEM learning and continue the growth of our girls in STEM and computer science courses, through the STLP mechanism. So first, register. The link to register your club is in the rubric as well. And then check out the AI for Financial Good challenge for this year and see what types of things they're promoting. You do have the opportunity to get something submitted to the national challenge by March 1st, but we're also giving people the opportunity to say, you know what, we can't get it done by March 1st. We can't get an idea put together. And it's just an idea. We're not building an AI program or an AI system. We're trying to get the creativity and get the inspiration of these young ladies. We're trying to make sure that they feel empowered with their ideas. And come and present your idea. Tell us some stuff. But we want to rely heavily on research. And so if you can't get the March 1st deadline for the national challenge, great. Continue iterating and bring it to STLP State and get recognized as a Girls Who Code champion at STLP State. Monique Rice and Sherry McGuffin from Advanced Kentucky, they're leading this effort. And we're trying to work together with our great partners to continue to push and promote the Girls Who Code program, because guess what? I'm not the greatest representative for Girls Who Code. Monique and Sherry do a great job of promoting and advancing female voices in computing, and they're going to do a great job with this challenge. So sign up in case you're like, I don't know if I have anybody that's interested in it. You know what? Get them registered. We want them to be there.
Awesome.
That's all I got on that, Matt. You said 20 minutes. I could talk for hours about computer science, and you know it.
All right, so we have a couple that Sean will come back for in a few minutes. This is a new category that we're offering this year. This is AI on demand. This will require your students to use AI to create something, and that something has not yet been determined, whether it's art or music or video. It is going to be all using AI. There might be some restrictions as to what you can and can't use, but we're locking that down, and that will be available on both the STLP website and the super sheet. So be on the lookout for that. But go ahead and register your students for this, because this is a brand new category that we are really excited about. Next one is Certipalooza, and this is Dr. Sean Jackson once again.
Certipalooza. This is not a new event by any means. We've been doing this since, I think, the very first time we offered Certipalooza was way back in 2016 at STLP, if I'm not mistaken. But it's going to be a little bit different. We've had to iterate because of securing devices and having a lab framework. Well, guess what? This year we finally have the opportunity to be 100% BYOD. We're also working with Certiport, our vendor partner, who is providing us with those vouchers to try to hone in on what areas we will be able to test in. But the very first step is, again, register individual students on the super sheet, and then we will be communicating a little bit more about exactly what this entails for this BYOD, very first ever BYOD Certipalooza Challenge. And this is the opportunity for middle and high school students to get valid industry certifications at STLP State 100% for free.
Which is an awesome opportunity, and it's important that we take advantage of that. Awesome Inc.
Yeah, and so Awesome Inc. is another great vendor partner. They have wanted to help us out in getting our coding challenge up to a very high standard. And so they took this over last year. It's been a great challenge. And Awesome Inc. said, you know what, we could really work with this and help grow this. They've been at the STLP experience for the last several years. So now they're leading a challenge. They're still developing the actual tasks, but they will be communicating directly to the high school programs that register students to participate. And they will be providing some background and some resources. And it is 100%, well, maybe not 100%, but it is language agnostic. So if you have students that are learning Python, if they're learning C++, C Sharp, Java, JavaScript, there's going to be a lot of possibilities for them to be flexible with the outcome of the tasks based on what programming language they're using. So if you know students that are like, hey, they're great in computer science, they're in the computer science pathway, they're doing all this stuff, register those kids, and they're going to have a great opportunity to interface with Awesome Inc.'s professionals who do this on a daily basis and advise industries on how to up their game with programming and in the world of Internet of Things. So we're really excited to bring them on board as a partner.
Well, thanks, Sean. The next one we're offering this year is a middle school and high school drone challenge. Last year was the first year we had this as a challenge, which was just offered to high school students. So this year, middle school has been included. You can see Jennifer and Monisa are listed as the leads for that, respectively. Middle school and high school, if you have questions, the best person to reach out to will be one of them as they create the rubric and the sets of rules and exactly how this challenge is going to be accomplished this year. But basically what happened last year, which this year will probably be very similar, is they have to earn points. It's a 1v1 competition, drones flying around. Bring your own drone for this competition. So fly it around through this course. I think it was like a 24 by 24 foot giant square. Really cool event, earning points and beating the other competitors. Next one is the Game Design Challenge. This is led by Keith Barnes in Bullitt County. He has a great setup here, basically designing a video game on a computer while at state. So this is all done there. I think some things are done ahead of time, and then you bring and finish things and present your game that you have presented or that you have created at state. So lots of options. He has specific rules that can be found on, and I think that one is updated already this year. The rubric is available on the super sheet, so be sure to check that out and register your students for that competition. Next one is Georgetown College Robot Use. This has been around for years and years, hosted by our friends at Georgetown College. The idea behind this one is that you build a robot that either transforms something that you do or transforms a robot that basically helps you or can solve problems. So as an example, last year, there was a t-shirt folding robot. So you would set a shirt down, press a button, the code would fold the shirt for you. We've seen basketball, sports, athletic things used in this competition, but it's using a robot that will assist or revolutionize the way you do something, which is a lot of fun to see those students. They will bring their pre-assembled robot and present exactly what it does to Dr. Peach, and that will be in our robot hall downstairs. The next one is the Help Desk Challenge. So if your middle school or high school has a help desk, this challenge is for you. Sign them up and they will share how they run their help desk at your school. And hopefully, probably a lot of your students are doing a lot of innovative, different tasks that are improving the way broken devices come to your maybe your computer technicians in your district. But this is about showcasing your students and how they run your help desk at your school. Next one is Cinemania. This is a favorite of a lot of our STLP groups around the state. Basically, this is a 48-hour film challenge where 2 days prior to when that video is due, you will receive a list of crazy things and objects and tasks and words and different things you have to say and do. You'll create a minute-long video using what is given to you, and that's always shared out on the Cinemania Video Challenge website. So you'll get this list of things. Your students have to storyboard and film and get this video done within 2 days, and then added to YouTube, and then submitted to the form that can be found on the Cinemania website. So you need to do 2 things for this one: create your video and submit it, but then you're also going to have to register your teams as well. So one, you have to register your teams, but then look out for the event challenges that will come out, and they'll email those that do sign up, and then you'll have to submit your video, your final video, to the Cinemania website form. Next one, NKU, our friends at Northern Kentucky University, have rebranded the name of this one, but it's the IoT Smart Device Challenge. So the Internet of Things Challenge is what it used to be called, and they've added smart device in there too. So we're talking about Alexas or weather stations or devices that communicate with the cloud. How can your students create a device that will revolutionize or change or be a smart device that enhances some part of what we do on a daily basis? So our Alexa devices are a great example. You can have those do simple tasks for you: turn on the lights, turn off the lights, different things like that. Everything on the rubric will definitely help you figure out exactly what your challenge for this one will be. And that is updated for this year as well, and that can be found on the super sheet. Next one, our friends in Warren County host the Robot Royale Line Follow Challenge. This is a Lego robot that basically follows a white line down the center of a sheet of plywood, a couple sheets of plywood. Fastest time wins. This is broken up in elementary, middle school, and high school divisions to try to keep it fair. But it's a lot like an autonomous vehicle, how it uses sensors to track and drive in the middle of the road. This has to follow, using a light sensor, follow a white line all the way down the course. Fastest time wins. A lot of fun. Brand new a couple years ago. Flying through, we had 2 RCX challenges this year. So we'll talk about this is the familiar one. This is the one that's been going on. Doug hosts this, and this is a register ahead of time, receive a mat, program your robot to complete missions on the mat. You have to participate in a regional tournament for this one. And then if accepted, you will then be invited to the state level, which happens at Rupp Arena at the state championship. So do make sure you check out the RCX info page, but you'll also have to register for STLP on our registration if you get invited to state. So Doug hosts a great competition using Lego robots, really cool mat, lots of little missions that you can earn points for. So check that out. The second RCX event that is new this year, spaces for this will be limited. I think he's unsure quite yet as to how many teams he'll accept, but I think it'll be around 10. So this is going to use a previous year's course. He'll have it set up at Rupp Arena, give your teams the opportunity to try to program as fast as they can to complete missions. And then at some point throughout the day, he'll have you run those missions on a previous year's course. Most points wins for this one too. Very similar to the other one, except this is all on site. So the idea is we can spend weeks and weeks programming back at your school, but this one, let's see what you guys can do on site in the heat of battle Our next challenge, this is brand new this year, hosted by our friends in Owensboro. Robot Crossout. There's two versions of this. What it's going to be is these are not like, I guess you could use a Lego robot for this, but these are more intended to be the big metal high school level robots. This is a high school only competition. So 1 versus 1 robot competition versus the autonomous. Autonomous is already pre-programmed. This is a tic-tac-toe style game. Robots, the big guys will drive around, pick up balls from certain spots on the course, drop them into different spots. Oh boy. Oh boy. So you pick up balls, drop them in, tic-tac-toe style competition versus the 1v1 is remote controlled. So autonomous is pre-programmed using probably sensors and motors and all sorts of different things to find the ball, place it in a tic-tac-toe style grid. Stephanie has a great diagram on the super sheet rubric for this that shows you exactly what the intended idea is. Robot agnostic, so it doesn't matter what kind of robot you have. Any kind of robot will be good for this challenge. Check that out. Brand new competition, and we want to see what that's all about. Sphere Hero, another one that's been around for a few years. Basically, your students are going to write a story. The actor, the main actor of your story, will be a Sphero that you've programmed to drive around. There are some twists to this competition. Usually there's 5 or 6 different things that you have to do. So maybe it's an elevation change, or he has to change color, or he has to go under or in something. It's a really fun idea, a way for a Sphero to be the main character, but it also ties in literacy and writing and reading. So it's a really great challenge. It's always very popular. The rubric for that is still being updated. We do not have the updated rubric for this posted on the super sheet yet, but keep on the lookout for that. Go ahead and sign your kids up anyways, and as soon as that rubric's posted, we'll make mention of that and make sure everybody knows. SumoBot challenge. This is the big one. A lot of teams, a lot of different schools participate with this. It's basically sumo wrestling but robot style. So 2 Lego robots back to back. They'll say go. You start the robots. They'll take off, and the idea is to try to incapacitate the other one by either pushing it off the edge of the course or the mat, or flipping it over somehow. Very competitive. Kids love it. I think this has the most fans out of any robot competition. Just people watching these robots going at it. A lot of fun. That will be in the Robot Hall as well this year. Tech Bowl is a quick recall style tech savvy student answering questions event. Rhonda Thompson from Jackson County hosts this. Bring your own device, but they'll be asking questions, and I think there are study questions that are available to help your students prepare for this. Really good, and we appreciate Rhonda for hosting that. UK Minds on Innovation. This competition is looking for a brand new idea or a way to do something that uses technology. So it really takes the best and brightest to think of new ideas and ways to revolutionize the way we do things using technology, whether it's coding or programming or a website that does this, or some sort of smart device or a robot that does these other things. Lots of really cool ideas that get presented at state. So this is a do ahead of time, present to the judges at state what your idea is, and the best 2 will be on the stage for this one. Web Coding Challenge, also hosted by UK. This is basically a coding exercise that happens at state. They use Scratch, so they'll give you a prompt. You'll sit down. They will use Scratch to create a website. And from what we've seen in the past, really, really awesome things can be made with Scratch. It goes pretty deep. So you're creating a website using Scratch at state. So that's a really cool one for your students to be a part of. This one is also BYOD, so bring your own stuff for this one. And website design challenge, I believe, is our last one. The idea behind this has been that you create or you talk to a business, we'll just say a business that needs a better website. Say, hey, have your students call and say, hey, we like what you're doing. Can we create a new website for you? Create them a website using whatever you want. Bring it, present that idea at state, and that's the competition. Usually, they look at creativity and function and all those different things that make a good website, graphic design style and everything there. Again, really cool all the way. All grade levels for this one. So register that and bring it to state. Just so we have that up there again, February 28th is the registration deadline for everything STLP State. So make sure you be on the lookout, register your kids early. On the STLP website, we will have a Looker Studio set created that lets you see and go back to see what you've registered for. We're still working on that, but we'll get that published. Head to the STLP website to check that out. Again, as always, we thank you, STLP coaches, for allowing your students the opportunity to do these things. A lot of these challenges are top-notch, high engagement level, hands-on challenges that we really, really appreciate you helping and assisting and guiding your students to have those opportunities that will really hopefully open up some doors for them. And we always like to see what they create. Everything's always awesome and fun to watch. So with that being said, that's all I have. Jeff or Sean, do you have anything to
add? No, just a quick.
I spoke enough.
Never enough. I've been sort of knocking down the questions as they pop up in the Q&A. Just a reminder to everybody that all this information is neatly packed up for you. If you go to stlp.education.ky.gov/state, you'll be able to get to details about everything regarding all the challenges, registration links, resources that you might need to prepare, and be able to contact all of the leads for each of the challenges if you have questions leading up to the state championship on March 27th. Appreciate everyone jumping on with us today. Thanks.